The beginning of the 21st century is characterized by the impetuous development of economic, political, and cultural relations and perspectives. Globalization creates a world in which an increasing number of people are moving all over the world for overseas work or studies. A major challenge that expatriate workers and students face in the increasingly globalized world is how to function successfully in a new cultural environment. In a country with different values, sociocultural rules, and norms of behavior. Hence, one of the main features of a successful person nowadays is his skills in intercultural communication. The role of sociocultural competence is very important for achieving proficiency in a foreign language because it doesn't only help one to survive but achieve success in an increasingly interdependent global society. Let's now clearly define what sociocultural competence is. According to Morsha et al. 1995, it refers to the speaker's knowledge of how to express messages appropriately within the overall social and cultural context of communication, in accordance with the pragmatic factors related to variation in language use. This includes knowledge of language variation with reference to sociocultural norms of the target language. In fact, a social or cultural blunder can be far more serious than a linguistic error when one is engaged in oral communication. The pedagogical challenge lies in the fact that second and foreign language teachers typically have a far greater awareness and knowledge of linguistic rules than they do of the social-cultural behaviors and expectations that accompany use of the target language. Even when good cultural descriptions are available, it is hard to get learners to change their native verbal behavior based on a new set of assumptions. Morsha et al. Modified Canal-Swain's social-linguistic competence to social-cultural competence, or the cultural background knowledge needed to interpret and use a language effectively. These are the four sociocultural variables proposed by and Morsha et al. Social contextual factors, stylistic appropriateness factors, cultural factors, and non-verbal communicative factors. Social contextual factors concerns the participants in the interaction and the communicative situation, the participant's age, gender, office or profession, rank and public position, status or social standing, social distance from and relations to each other, both in terms of power and affect, are known to determine how they talk and how are talked to. Situational variables involve the temporal and physical aspects of the interaction, like time and duration and location, as well as the social dimension of the situation, for example, a formal reception. The second category is the stylistic appropriateness factors, includes variables that lend themselves to explicit instruction. The most important politeness strategies can readily be presented as language teaching input, and the main characteristics of various styles and registers can also be summarized and presented for the students. Cultural factors involve three main components. First is the social-cultural background knowledge of the target language community. Second, awareness of major dialect or the regional differences. And lastly, cross-cultural awareness. Whittleson 1990 refers to these areas of knowledge as schematic knowledge, which complements the systemic knowledge of the language code. He argues that in real-life communication, the systemic knowledge is subservient to the schematic. The sociocultural background knowledge of the target language community is a belief that some knowledge of life and traditions, as well as history and literature of the target speaker community, is extremely useful to completely successful and comprehensive communication with its members. The awareness of major dialect and regional differences is particularly important with languages like English, where several considerably different standard regional varieties exist. And lastly, as for cross-cultural awareness, there are so many culture-specific do's and don'ts that without any knowledge of these, a language learner is constantly walking through a cultural minefield. Second language acquisition and second culture acquisition are are inextricably bound. The fourth main component of sociocultural competence involves nonverbal communicative factors. As Pennycook 1985 reiterates, actions speak louder than words, with nonverbal communication carrying a significant proportion of social meaning. Because nonverbal actions operate largely on an unconscious level, LT speakers may not even realize that some miscommunication can be fostered by inappropriate nonverbal signals. This is divided into five components. First, kinesthetic behavior or body language, involving nonverbal signals to regulate turn-taking, or intake of breath, tensing the body, and leaning forward, or to indicate the interlocutor that what he or she says is being understood, as well as affective markers such as facial expressions, gestures, especially ones with conventionalized meanings, and eye contact. The second component, prosemic factors, concerns the speaker use of space, physical distance between people, and the third, haptic factors, concerns the role of touching in the target language community. Both factors can be source of serious cross-cultural tension. The fourth component involves paralinguistic factors such as acoustical sounds, like grunts, and non-vocal noises, like hisses, but it does not include intonation, which we consider to be part of the basic linguistic code and thus part of linguistic competence. Paralinguistic factors give the message effective depth and function of back-channel signals. The final component, silence, often carries social and culturally determined meaning, as is expressed by phrases like pregnant pause or eloquent silence. The aspects of sociocultural competence that will be particularly problematic for learners are the function of the differences between the communicative styles of the L1 and L2 communities. March 1990 proposes that teachers should conduct a cultural needs analysis among their students using a questionnaire format to select relevant cultural rules to be taught. Let's now go to the limitations of the sociocultural competence. First, people can always choose to conform or not to conform to the norms presented to them. However, the basis of making an explicit choice is knowledge. Second, non-native speakers are often very vulnerable in terms of both power relations in the L2 community and their understanding of the consequences of nonconformity. Thus, whenever possible, the teacher should present not only the target norms, being very careful in the process not to present his or her own values or preferences as absolutes, but also the choices and the consequences of these choices to learners.